All right, let's dive into something that's absolutely critical for anyone in farming today. We're going to talk about how to climb what I call the value ladder. This is all about moving beyond just growing crops and starting to build a seriously profitable business where you capture the real value of all your hard work. I mean, does this question hit home? You pour your heart and soul into the land. You fight the weather, you deal with pests, and then, at the end of a long season, the price you get, well, it feels like it's completely out of your hands. It's this exhausting cycle of high effort for returns that are just, well, they're not what they should be. But what if there's a better way? You see, the root of the problem is something we can call the production trap. When you're only a producer, you're literally at the very bottom of a long, long chain. You're taking on all the risk, from a bad storm to a new pest, and you're competing with thousands of other farmers growing the exact same thing. And you know what that does? It pushes prices down. You end up being a price taker, not a price maker. But here's the thing, that first step doesn't have to be a trap. The key is to see that whole agricultural value chain as a ladder. A ladder you can actually climb. And with every single rung you move up, you gain more control, you have more say, and most importantly, you get to keep a bigger piece of the final profit. Okay, so here's the roadmap. This is the entire value ladder, right from your farm all the way to the customer. It starts where you are, with production. The next rung is aggregation, which is basically collecting and sorting the produce. Then comes the first huge jump, processing, where you actually transform your crop into something new. After that, you've got branding, building a name for yourself. Then export, opening up new markets. And finally, the top rung, distribution, getting your product into the hands of the end user. We're going to focus on the key rungs that really help you build a business. Let's zero in on that first major leap up the ladder, adding value through processing. This is where you really start to change the game, turning what you grow into something more valuable. So processing, it's your first real chance to break free from commodity pricing. Think about it. Instead of just selling a raw material that anyone else can grow, you start creating a unique product. You control the quality, you can make different versions, and right away, you can start charging higher prices. And this isn't just theory. Look at these real-world examples. You stop selling raw sesame and start selling whole sesame seeds. You're no longer selling raw ginger by the pound, you're selling dried ginger powder. You're not just harvesting shea nuts, you are creating a premium shea butter. Every single one of these transformations adds some serious, tangible value. Now check this out. This visual just says it all, doesn't it? The profit potential isn't just a little bit higher, it's in a completely different ballpark. The margin you can get by processing and packaging your product is just worlds away from selling it raw. This is where you really start to build wealth. So you've done it. You've created a better, more valuable product through processing. That is fantastic. But the next step is just as critical. You have to give it a name, a story, a reputation. It's time to build a brand. You know, a brand is so much more than just a slick logo. It's a promise you make to your customer. It's the reason someone walks into a store and looks specifically for your shea butter or your ginger powder. It's about building a level of trust and recognition that turns a first-time buyer into a loyal fan, someone who's happy to pay a premium for what you offer. This idea is so powerful, let it sink in for a second. When you build a strong brand, the story you tell, the trust you build, that whole reputation you create in the customer's mind, it has real, actual financial value. People aren't just buying ginger powder anymore. They're buying the quality, the reliability, and the story that your specific brand represents. We've processed, we've branded, and now it's time for the final, most powerful rung on the entire ladder. This is about taking your product and putting it directly into the hands of the person who's going to use it. This is all about owning distribution. So, distribution is that last mile. It's how your beautifully packaged, trusted, branded product gets from your farm or your facility to the person who will actually use it. And this could be anything from setting up your own online store to getting shelf space in local markets or even selling directly to restaurants. And here is the single most important takeaway from this entire conversation. Whoever controls distribution owns the relationship with the customer. This gives you the ultimate leverage. You're not just a supplier in a long chain anymore. You're getting direct feedback, you're building real loyalty, and you're capturing the biggest piece of the final price. It's definitely the toughest rung to get to, but man, the reward is absolutely worth it. So as you can see, climbing this ladder isn't just about adding more tasks to your to-do list. It's about fundamentally changing how you think. It's about making a deliberate, strategic choice about the kind of business you really want to build. And in the end, it really boils down to this shift in mindset. A producer thinks about yield. They take whatever price the market is offering for their commodity. A business owner, on the other hand, focuses on creating value, on building a distinct product, and on making their own price. It's a huge change, from just working in agriculture to building an agricultural business. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question for your own operation. You don't have to jump to the top of the ladder all at once. Just think, what is the very next rung you can reach for? Is it processing just a small batch of your crop this season? Is it just designing a simple label for a farmer's market? The journey to real profit starts by climbing that first, next rung.